How can semiosis change a creative's mindset? This season's theme is developing a fresh semiotic mindset to your creative work. For newbies, this is about applying Peirce's semiotic theory of semiosis to what you illustrators and designers already do. Our focus has been on small, simple changes in enhancing the effectiveness of your visual communication to an audience. Let us see how semiosis can help you. A visual semiotic sign is always in plain sight. A semiotic sign in your aesthetic remains dormant until it is perceived by your audience as meaning bearing. If you think a semiotic sign is a tangible thing like signage, then your semiotic mindset needs recalibrating. The big revelation this season has been you have always been working semiotically. You just have not realized it until now. In this 19th and penultimate episode of Semiosis 101 Season 4, we move from enhancing the visual communication of the messages to how you, the creative, can now approach ideation in a semiotic way with semiosis. Season 4 has inspired you to do 3 things, and all of these things are about facilitating your own creative mindset to facilitate audience behavioral changes to interpret the intended meaning. 3 simple words: realize, embrace, apply. First, realize where you have already been working semiotically. Realization opens up new patterns of how you ideate and craft your designs and illustrations. Second, embrace second order thinking to work more empathically as you sketch ideas to answer the client's brief. By embracing a more human-centered rather than a creative-centered approach to how you develop your visual language, you can gain valuable insights into how your target audience's life worlds influences how they make interpretations. Third, apply the principles of semiosis to help you to enhance how you effectively visually communicate by switching to semiotically structuring your visual language. By applying the principles of Peirce's semiosis into your new human-centered approach to ideation, you have the semiotic structure to control how meaning-bearing visual elements will be interpreted as intended. Realize, embrace, apply. Sounds simple put like that, yes? But let us see how you can now apply this new semiotic mindset in practice. Have you noticed I am principally discussing what happens during your ideation phase, your development of idea stage, the sketching of possible ways to answer the problems set by your client in their brief. Without ideation, the design or illustration would be superficial. So I am not discussing superficiality. On Semiosis 101, I am discussing the semiotic structuring of visual communication. From your basic visual communication building blocks of lines, marks, strokes, shapes, colours, etc. up to your completed design or illustration. These basic building blocks, even in their simplest forms, have the potential for meaning bearing. Therefore, through semiosis, your creative process can be strengthened to reduce any miscommunication. Semiosis, a pragmatic semiotic sign action, includes a perceptual flow between the concept your client needs you to mediate to their target audience. How you mediate this, whether as a design or an illustration outcome, is through semiotically enhancing what you creatives already do. In your designs and illustrations, you create aesthetic outcomes which visually communicate the messages the client desires. To create these, you use many techniques, styles, and media. Great, that is what you already do. How Peirce's semiosis benefits this established creative process is that he brings the audience into the client's concept and creates his representation working bubble. Peirce's pragmatic semiotic theory differs from Saussure and Barth's semiology of signified. Semiosis's flow is between concept, representation, interpretation. The interpretation by the audience is crucial to your successful visual communication of meaning to them. The benefits of applying semiosis principles to your ideation brings the audience into how you develop your visual language. Remember, we are talking connotative meaning here and not denotative this is this meaning. Over the last 4 seasons of Semiosis 101, I have put the principles of semiosis into designer-centric terms. Peirce's theoretical writing is really quite obtuse to the lay reader. I can only summarise these principles in the next 5 minutes, so buckle up. You may be more comfortable with the term tone of voice. That ephemeral phrase that covers a lot of things a creator needs to evoke through your visual language decisions. Semiosis is your semiotic ally in visually evoking the right visual mood, tone, emotion in what you design or illustrate. Have you noticed I have yet to mention semiotic signs? I have not had to mention semiotic signs by name as they have already been there in plain sight. Remember, a semiotic sign is not signage. The semiotic determination flow I mentioned earlier is concept, representation, interpretation. This is the meta client creative audience model. You creatives are involved in the semiotic representation of the client's concept. Your audience is involved in perceiving, understanding, and interpreting what is meant to then take action. What you aesthetically produce to answer the client's brief has an active life with the audience. It is their perception that triggers the mediation of meaning. After all, Peirce states that a semiotic sign's power is dormant until perceived as meaning-bearing. This subconscious instant move from no perception of possible meaning to meaning-bearing is because of your audience perceiving visual familiarities. Peirce's semiotic sign action power is threefold. Each semiotic sign is powered through levels of perception, communication, and delivery, from simple to complex. Perception power, sign intensity. Possible, suggested, resolved. Communication power, concept communication. Familiar, existent, proxy. Delivery power, effect on interpreter. Instant, mediated, agreed. The weakest type of semiotic sign is a visual quality. Yes, a simple stroke or colour can be all it takes to instantly trigger your audience to perceive possible deeper meaning. What they perceive represented has a familiar quality to something they have experience of. Or if you want to read more about this, then check out the Semiosis 101 semiotic resource on Ghost. Link is below in the description. If a simple quality can trigger the audience to begin interpreting the visual language for deeper meaning, then the sign action has begun. Your visual language's basic building blocks can be aligned to mediate from familiar qualities to lead the audience to interpret existent things from what is represented. These then can be used to craft more sophisticated aesthetics that semiotically lead the audience from possible meaning to suggested meaning. From the instant moment of perceiving weak meaning, the semiotic signs begin to mediate the audience to deeper embedded meanings. As I have constantly stated, semiotic signs are not tangible. They are encoded from the marks and shape qualities. How a simple semiotic quality can contribute to a deeper and more complex meaning lies in the nesting of signs with signs. Do not overthink this. You already have the skills to do this. A single stroke of a brush does not make a completed picture. Any complex finished design or illustration comprises of many smaller visual elements all working together to complete the bigger picture. Semiotic signs map to each stage. Did I not state you have always been working semiotically? Now, with a fresh semiotic mindset approach to your ideation, you hopefully now realize semiosis is a natural extension to what you already do. If you have reached the realization, then embrace all that semiosis can do to now help you apply it into your existing creative process to structure how you visually communicate. These 3 steps help you to begin to adapt your existing creative process during ideation to strengthen what you visualize to connect with your audience's lived experiences. In a recent episode, I called the audience your knowledge agents. Their lived experiences are very insightful. You may need to go back and watch 4 seasons worth of Semiosis 101 episodes to understand how to apply semiosis. That is fine. The episodes are freely available, archived on YouTube. Future Season 5 episodes will now go into more depth. These episodes are currently available to watch on Semiosis 101's Patreon before they eventually get published on YouTube. Remember, Semiosis 101 is not a semiotics course, but a designer-centric explanation of Peirce's pragmatic semiotic theory. Subscribe to be notified when the final Season 4 episode is published. It will review what you have learned this season to develop your own fresh semiotic mindset. Or become a Semiosis 101 producer on Patreon and watch all future episodes months ahead of YouTube, plus other Patreon-only exclusive video content. Hint, hint. See you all again for the next Semiosis 101 episode. Semiosis 101 is unique in helping illustrators and designers to semiotically enhance your visual communication skills. One designer-centric semiotic video at a time. Remember to hit subscribe to be notified when the next episode hits.